Today, I want to talk about how meme stocks like AMC and GameStop are running in the after hours, especially after GameStop ran all day as well too, and somebody out there loaded up on nearly $200,000 worth of GameStop call options. As I've said before, somebody always knows something, so I want to answer the question of, is the squeeze starting? So stay tuned and let's make some money. And now I'll dive straight in with the key information. So, you can see today GameStop ran 13.2% and in the after hours is up an additional 8%, and at its peak was up 12% as well. I haven't seen a day like this where either GameStop or AMC has run big during the day and in the after hours as well for quite some time. But first, I want to discuss why GameStop and AMC might actually be running. Is it due to that total return swap? Is it due to the ETFs? Is it due to what's going on in China? Or could it be something else entirely? Obviously, I touched on this ETF earlier today, but Tony Denaro posted this tweet about Roundhill shutting down their meme ETF. Now, the Yahoo article says that Roundhill is shutting their meme ETF due to flagging investor interest, but Boss Blunts has actually uncovered something much more nefarious. He said the Roundhill meme ETF has only ever been used by hedge funds and institutions to short stocks and manipulate markets. I mentioned in my video earlier about how these institutions have been shorting AMC ETFs, AMC single stock ETFs, and ETFs including AMC to short the stock without presenting short interest or FTDs. They're effectively directly shorting AMC through an ETF product, so they're not incurring FTDs on AMC itself, they're incurring FTDs on these hidden ETFs. But actually, Boss Blunt has explained how institutions have also been adding non-meme stocks like PacWest Bank, First Republic and Silicon Valley Bank when they began to collapse into the ETF in order to have a drawdown effect on the entire ETF and all of the stocks held within. So basically they added these failing banks into the ETF, which obviously brought the price of the ETF down. That meant that more hedge funds, more institutions and more investors could short the ETF, pushing the price down further of not just the ETF, but the stocks inside the ETF like AMC, GameStop and others as well. He said he covered this in depth on his YouTube channel and it occurred in real time on various occasions as well. He said this meme ETF is now being shut down as those institutions and hedge funds want to try and cover their tracks, as it had very high historical days to cover, and they can instead now use tokenized securities or try and find something else. As I said recently, I and others exposed that these ETFs were being shorted to remove the short interest from AMC specifically. That's why you don't see 40% short interest in AMC, or 60, 80, 100, 120, 140, 200, 300, 400, 500% short interest in AMC specifically, because they were shorting the ETFs. Now they've been found out, they need to try and cover their tracks and hide all of that short interest that was in those ETFs. Especially as they were caught adding entities like PacWest Bank, First Republic and Silicon Valley Bank to draw down those ETFs too. But not only that, Samuel Clemens has explained how these ETFs were even lending out the shares inside those ETFs for even more shorting. I also wanted to recap one of the best, if not perhaps the best day we've had in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group so far. We had Kevin H making 48% on S&P 500 call options, making $255, S to the P making over $600 on Nvidia and $2,600 on Tesla, and Gosu making his first trade in the Millionaire Mindset Group, a profitable trade locking in over 20% gains on the S&P 500 too. As I said, today we traded those S&P 500 options, which I called out around 9:28 market time, when they were trading for 36 cents per options contract, running to highs of 70 cents for nearly 100% total gains. I'm also super excited to announce we now have over 100 members. Also remember there's only 2 days left in the Thanksgiving sale, so be sure to join the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group linked in the description below if you want to be making over $2,000 per day like S to the P did today. He tweeted saying the meme ETF is closing, and inside that meme ETF, 95% of the AMC shares inside were lent out from within that ETF. You can see inside the ETF for AMC Entertainment, practically all of the shares inside that ETF were lent out. Of the 38,000 shares in the ETF, 37,000 of them were lent out. Now you might say, Tom, an ETF just holding 39,000 shares of AMC or 38,000 surely can't be doing too much damage. But remember those ETFs like XRT that are holding GameStop that have over 400% short interest. And on top of that, as Samuel Clemens tweeted, he said out of the 6 ETFs that he could find for BlackRock that are holding AMC inside, most of them have 99% plus of the shares inside those ETFs lent out. So BlackRock is lending out 99.6% of their AMC shares, and they're the second largest shareholder of AMC behind Vanguard. So not only were they shorting the ETFs to hide the short interest, they were also lending out the shares inside and also doubly shorting the ETFs and stuffing them full of rubbish stocks to drag the ETFs down further. And now they've been caught out, they're trying to hide the ETFs, they're trying to shut down the ETFs because they want to cover their tracks. And Plants Not Pills pointed out something really interesting, saying, I wonder if it's just a coincidence that this ETF is closing on the exact same day the $1 trillion swap is due. I wonder if it's all interconnected and that's what's caused stocks like GameStop and AMC to run up during the day and run up in the after hours too. And I also saw this really weird but interesting tweet that I never thought I'd see ever in my life from Short Destroyer. He was recently contacted earlier today by Ryan Cohen and released this really interesting tweet. He said, as an important announcement, in light of recent events, AK being contacted by Ryan Cohen, I want to speak to all members of the GameStop community here. Yes, even those of you who hold or have held other stocks. I know what many of you are already thinking, but please do read what I have to say. He said, as the war rages on between retail, household investors and Wall Street, it's been brought to my attention, maybe by Ryan Cohen, that the only shot retail has of ever winning this is if we put an end to the divisiveness within our communities. As I said, this is something I thought I'd never hear. Short Destroyer consistently bashed AMC and said that AMC stole the squeeze from GameStop. But now here he is saying that AMC investors and GameStop investors need to come together and work together. He said, yes, I know I have been or have been viewed as one of those that stoke the flames of this division, but it has to stop. Saying we cannot continue on with the splintering of investors being pitted against each other and expect positive end results. This is exactly what those we oppose want to happen. The more division there is inside the AMC community and between AMC, GameStop and other meme stocks as well, the more the shorts win. But obviously, I guess when we all come together, that's when we're at our strongest. And on the same day, somebody out there has loaded $193,000 worth of GameStop call options for June, 30 minutes before the market close. And they're already up over 8% in the after hours. It's been said many times before that somebody out there always knows something. Now, the crazy lady trader also tweeted saying, look around you. Tesla, Doge, Silver, GameStop, NASDAQ, AMC and others, everything is going exactly like I said. See, I feel extremely excited for AMC, and she's in the camp that thinks one of the next candles can be the candle. But so let's answer the question of, does this mean the squeeze is starting right now? As I said, somebody out there always knows something and has gone in heavy on GameStop call options. So does that mean the squeeze is starting right now? Maybe. But does it also mean they could be trying to lure us into buying call options to crush the stock over the remainder of the week, stealing more of our money? Maybe as well. What I'm really trying to point out here is that maybe the squeeze is starting, maybe the squeeze isn't starting. I don't know, you don't know, this person out there buying GameStop call options doesn't know, and nobody can truly know whether the squeeze is starting right now or not. Something I always preach in the Millionaire Mindset Trading Group is to wait for confirmation before jumping into a trade. Whether that's before buying more shares or before buying options, you always wait for confirmation. It's much easier to wait until we have confirmation the squeeze is starting before buying more shares or buying call options, rather than trying to time call options every single day or every single week or every single month over the last 3 years and losing consistently. That's exactly what the shorts want us to do, which is to buy call options so they can push the price down and steal our money. And that's why it's so important to first wait for confirmation before you take any significant trades. So guys, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. And as always guys, be sure to ding that notification bell because that way you'll be alerted when I upload a new video. Cheers.